Hey guys, this is Shah. I'm the founder and CEO of Marigold Academy. Marigold Academy is a childcare franchise based in New Jersey. We currently have 2 corporate schools operating in New Jersey, and we have 4 franchise schools currently under development in New Jersey and New York. And we're hoping to close on the 5th one tomorrow morning. Before I get into Marigold Academy, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I was actually born and raised in India, and I've been in this country since I was 95. I finished my high school here. I got my engineering degree, and then after that, I went on to get my MBA from Michigan State. I spent 15 years in corporate environment, working in engineering, financial services, private sector, public sector, you name it. Along the way, I always knew I was going to work for myself. So at one point, we made a transition, and I basically left my corporate job to become a franchisee of Dunkin' Donuts. I got into the restaurant business, and I did that for several years. It was a great business. It was good money. However, it was a 24/7 grind. So a lot of kudos to Slutty Vegan. I know what it takes to run a restaurant business. So it was a great business, but like I said, it's a 24/7 grind. And in 2016, when we learned that we're having our twins, that the decision was basically made for us that we're not going to continue doing this because I want to make sure I'm at home with my kids nights and weekends. At that moment, we decided to sell our business, and we had absolutely no clue what to do. So we were just kind of looking at every sector, every industry, basically anything we can do. Fast forward about a year, children were born. They're 3 months old, and we started looking for daycare for our own children. And we toured more than a dozen schools, pretty much every national brand you can think of. We went to see them, and we were pretty disappointed because we felt like every school we walked into, it had a commercial feel to it, as if your child is just another number or a dollar sign for an owner. And that's not what we're looking for. We want to really have that home away from home culture for our children, with a lot of emphasis on education. And that's really when the light bulb went off. Why don't we do this? We love children. We love education. We're a big believer in education. It's a great business. There's a huge demand for high quality childcare services across the nation. The great economics, and basically 9 to 5. It's Monday to Friday business, no nights and no weekends. So it literally checked off all of our boxes, and that's when we decided to venture into childcare. We did not want to become a franchisee. We did not want to become a part of larger brand because we had our goals of growing big and incorporating our own culture and our own philosophy into our school. So we basically did not know where to go from that. We had no experience running a childcare, so we decided to acquire a school in 2019. We bought the first school. We basically brought in a lot of new elements to the school. We brought in advanced curriculum. We renovated the entire school. We increased the safety measures. And about 8 months into buying the school, we basically were hit with COVID. And we had to completely shut down. We were ordered to shut down. Basically no revenue for 3 months. And when we were allowed to reopen, we basically went from 100% enrollment to less than 50% enrollment. Most of our staff did not come back. And basically we had to rebuild. We had to rebuild our staff. We had to get back to our enrollment. It took about a year to get back to a full enrollment. During COVID, we also grew into a second unit. And we brought in all our philosophies, our procedures and policies in place. And again, the school was thriving in no time. And basically we want to keep growing, but you may know that childcare centers are brick and mortar. They're a very capital intensive business. And they're also operationally very demanding. So there was no way we could keep on growing at the pace we wanted to grow on our own. We could have easily done 1 or 2 schools a year, but our goal is to do 20, 30 schools a year. So at that point, franchising was born. We knew nothing about franchising, so we learned. We spent next 1 year talking to industry experts, talking to consultants, basically learning everything we had to do. We created our FDD, we created our ops manual, and basically we launched our franchise concept about a year ago. Thank you. Yeah.
have like a whistle. I don't have a whistle. I just got back. So we have 3 minutes for questions.
Can you help me understand your competitive strategy? This is a very fragmented, very crowded space. Where are you putting units? How are you defining territory so that you can hopefully get enough students into the schools in these pockets like in New Jersey, for example, which is blanketed with early childhood?
Yeah, so the industry is definitely crowded. However, there's a huge demand. So if you call schools around your area, you will find out most of them don't have any space. So even though there is a lot of competitors out there, it is still an open market. There are 2 things that really differentiate us from everybody else. Is one, we put a lot of focus on education. So we introduce our children to advanced concepts that they don't actually learn in American school system until they're 6, 7 years old. So our objective is that what children will be learning when they're 6, 7 years old, we introduce them at the age 3 and 4. So reading, writing, math, science. We heavily focus on education. That's a differentiator. We are not a babysitting operation. We are truly educators. And if you walk into any of our schools, you will notice it's truly a home away from home culture, because we don't cut corners like some of our competitors. We actually go above and beyond the state required ratios. So we always have more teachers available than we actually need, which solves 2 problems. One, parents absolutely love that because they know that their child is getting more eyes on them. Our teachers love it because now they have an extra helping hand throughout the day, because being with 10, 12 children throughout the day for 8 to 10 hours is pretty exhausting. And at the end of the day, we are not a charity, we are a business. So because what we're offering, we actually charge premium for the services we provide. So we are growing into markets where there's a huge population density and higher income levels, because that's really what caters to our brand.